Hello everyone, today I'll be doing what I think a lot of us have been wanting to do or have been wondering about. Makeup primer is something that we always hear about as a necessity in makeup, and everyone on YouTube and obviously the beauty industry is pushing for, us using makeup primers because, well, for the industry it's just another product that they're selling and that you are spending money on, and you're supposed to use it every single time under your makeup. And I'm not necessarily, for or against makeup primers. I have made videos on my channel on makeup primers that I use. I have been known to use 2 or 3 different ones, every single time I do my makeup. So I'm not coming from any kind of point of view. I just thought it would be really interesting to make a video, like a long day wear test of makeup where half of my face is covered in primers and the other half is not, and after a full day-long wear test, just see where we're at. So a couple of things before we start. This isn't going to be, whatever primers I put on, this isn't going to be indicative of every single primer. And does makeup primer work, full stop? It's I can't use every single makeup primer out there. There might be some that will do a better or a worse job, but I'm going to do my best and try and kind of do this investigation as fair and square as I can. Okay, so I'm going to basically be using 3 different primers on one half of my face. The first one is this L'Oreal Infallible Pore Refining Primer. I'm just going to put this in my kind of cheek pore area and in the middle. Then I'm going to use this Vitamin Enriched Base from Bobbi Brown. I'm going to just put that under my eyes and right here, just where I get really dry during the day. And then for the rest of my half of my face, so everywhere else, I'm going to use this makeup primer by Lunar. This is quite a small company, I think. This is basically like a water-based, it's kind of like, it's very watery with very fine, I've made a video on that too if you want to see, very watery, very fine kind of glitter specks that you can't see when you apply, and it kind of makes everything on your face dewy. So let's get into that. Okay, so in case you're wondering, I did actually put moisturizer about an hour ago on my entire face. I was not going to go out and put makeup on like my bare skin, especially since I shaved last night. My skin needed some moisturization. And so yeah, you just saw me apply everything. Right now I'm just going to do the rest of my makeup and catch up with you just before I go for the day. Oh my god, I'm literally so unhappy with my makeup today, and I've been sitting here for like 30 minutes and I keep like noticing fucking little things. Natural makeup is fucking the worst, guys, because I don't know. I just did my usual natural kind of look. I used my L'Oreal True Match liquid foundation, then I used Elemental Beauty powder foundation to set it. I used the Catrice liquid camouflage under my eyes, and that's basically it. I used bronzer, highlighter. I didn't do my blush, I'm gonna do that right now. Did my brows, did my mascara, put some nude in my waterline, and that's basically it. So the application process wasn't really different, on this side against this side, the primer versus no primer. In the mirror it looks exactly the same as well. Right now it is 12:15. I have been wearing this for like 20 minutes now and just like running around between my bathroom natural light and here and trying to fucking perfect things, but none of that is working. So I'm just gonna go about with my day. I'm probably gonna be back here at about maybe 7 or 8, maybe 9 to check in, and we shall see whether 3 primers on this side of the face versus no primers at all, only moisturizer, has made any difference in the longevity and everything else of my makeup. I'm going to be back in about 8 hours, but you're gonna see me in about 3 seconds. See you then. Oh my god, I know I just checked in, and I know I wasn't gonna do those, but this is like just Snapchat. Look at this, isn't that crazy? Are you seeing the line here and nothing here? I don't know why. I don't know if you can see this, but I'm gonna try and zoom this in. Yes, there's a slight difference in the size of my pores. They're much smaller on the side where I actually use the Pore Refining Primer, so far so good. Okay, so it is 7:15 right now. Actually 7 hours on the dot. This is not the end of my day, basically. I mean, I'm home and, you know, I don't need the makeup anymore, but I thought that it would probably be better to kind of do this check-in and end this video before it gets ridiculous. The reason being, you know, if I were to keep this on for like 10, 11, 12 hours, I mean, beyond a certain time limit, the makeup will just, you know, crinkle and fall off of your face no matter what you do. And I don't think that would be a great indication of just the primers themselves. Let me get right into it. Let me zoom you in and let's see what the fuck is going on this piece of shit. Okay, so this is it zoomed in as close as it gets. I know I'm a little bit washed out, but I'm gonna try and kind of show you things anyway. The smile lines have appeared on both sides, as you can see. That check-in was kind of random, but I mean, that's just what happened. And my under eye area is just disastrous, honestly. You can't see all that well because of this overexposing, but I mean, these are just bigger than normally. I think it was just basically to do with my application this morning. I didn't have a great time putting this makeup on. I think the pores have enlarged themselves as well, even on the side where I did apply the pore minimizing primer. So with time, obviously, you know, your skin produces oil and stuff, so it just kind of messes around with everything. I think it was really cool to see, and I'll tell you my, you know, concluding thoughts in a second, but just by looking at this, you could never in a million years tell that there is a difference in the application of this makeup, specifically in the fact that I used 3 different primers here and none here. The areas in which I applied the Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Base are not like plumpier or better looking or less dry. The areas, so that all of my face in which I applied the water-based makeup primer by Lunar Cosmetics, they're not any better either. So if you remember from the start of this video, I didn't see massive changes in like the application process or in the makeup looking any different at the very start, apart from the smile lines that appeared at some point during the day later on this side. On this side, I don't know why, or if that has anything to do with the primer, and the pores, which remained minimized for a few hours. I don't know when exactly they became enlarged again, but the L'Oreal primer does its job for a while anyway. The only thing that I think could genuinely have a massive impact, and obviously this is not what I did today, on your makeup, on how it looks and even applies, and definitely the longevity as well, is basically whether you apply moisturizer or not. I was kind of, I want to say smart, but also silly enough to put moisturizer on, and I feel like that may be the reason why this side is just as good as this one. If I were to just leave this raw and put moisturizer and primers on this, which I might, I guess, do another follow-up to this video just like that, I think there would be a significant difference visible. So I think the moral of the story is, if you're using like a face cream that you use in the morning, or you know, any kind of face moisturizing serums, boosters, stuff like that, and on top of that you put on primer just before the application of your base, that you don't know if that primer does anything to you, I think the conclusion is that it probably just doesn't, and you're kind of wasting your money. I think when you're buying a primer, let's say like the pore minimizing ones, and you can actually, you know, on the application, you can see the visible difference on your face, I think that's fair enough. You know, you're going to have minimized pores for, let's say, 5 hours. Wow, great. Maybe if you spend more on like higher end, or just find a better drugstore pore minimizing primer, maybe it's gonna behave even better. But if you're putting something on your face and you're not really sure what it's doing, it's probably not doing anything. As long as your skin is nice and plumpy and moisturized, with or without makeup, the makeup is going to look good. I think like the makeup is going to look just like your natural skin. If your natural skin is crappy and, you know, flaky, and you're not moisturizing it, you're not looking after it, you're not cleaning it properly, you know, you're not using face scrubs and stuff like that, I think that's going to show either way, whether you apply primer or not. So this is all I've got to say. I think this was a curious little experiment. I might do a little follow-up if you guys want to, basically. Other than that, I guess I should probably say, if your makeup primer isn't doing you any favors in your eyes, just don't buy it, don't use it, use moisturizer.